Hey guys, so it's been a little bit since I've been able to make a SoFi stock video, but that's because there just hasn't been much news, right? Aside from Anthony Noto buying the stock up and as well as like the stock price going up, I want to see some actual news that I can report on. But here we have it, okay? The Washington Post leaked that Joe Biden is going to be coming out and saying that there's going to be $10,000 of student loan relief, okay? This is for people that don't make, $150,000 or file jointly of making $300,000 within their family. But contrary to the normal belief that this is actually good for SoFi. Anthony Noto, the CEO of SoFi, said it himself. He said, the President of the United States should show leadership and make good on his word to forgive $10,000 in student loan debt for people struggling to make ends meet and bring affluent borrowers back into repayment. And obviously this didn't happen, but he said on May 1st. Now this actually got pushed to August, but what he wants is he wants the affluent borrowers to still continue to pay out the normal amount that they should have to owe. But let's actually go in and look at the article, and I have actually just put it into my own note-taking software just so then, I can actually highlight some different things so that you guys can see it easier. So obviously, like I showed you already, $10,000 forgiveness for, not for the actual affluent clients, but the actual spokesperson that spoke to, the Washington Post spokesperson that actually wrote this said, caution that some details of these plans could change before the White House makes the decision official. So this could actually change, but we're just going to go off what the article actually has to say. Now they're saying wiping out the $10,000 of debt per borrower could cost roughly around $230 billion, according to estimates. What this is costing us is already costed us $100 billion. It would run us about $50 billion per year to maintain this pause. So do what Anthony Noto said, wipe away the $10,000 like you promised your voters you would, and then get back to, normal payments so that we don't have to continuously drain the taxpayer of these $50 billion payments. Now, this part is so key, okay? And it's actually, shown very, very easily here, but 33% of borrowers are going to be wiped out whenever this $10,000 forgiveness is actually given. And if you remember from the Q1 earnings call, that SoFi doesn't even go after clients like this. The average client that is with SoFi makes over $176,000 per year with an average credit score of 775 points. So whenever we're talking about these 33%, it's not even our clientele. And you know what? The people that are our clientele aren't getting the actual, forgiveness anyways. And then the 20% that's actually getting canceled overall, it doesn't even matter in the long run. The only problem with this article is that they caution that these things could change. And so the stock might not move on just this article, but it could whenever Joe Biden actually comes out and says this. So if it does stay the same, I do see a big jump coming for SoFi. I'm not saying $10 marks, but we could start seeing $8 and $9. I think that's very important. What we're really after is the people with the most amount of debt. And like you can see, maybe I can scroll down so I can show you just above here, is that 7% of people actually make up for 38% of the overall debt. Now, these people, and obviously it's not a one-to-one ratio of, the higher amount of debt equals the higher amount of income, but there is definitely a correlation with the more student debt, whether you're going for a doctorate, actually does lead to a higher income stream down the line. That's why I'm so excited, is because the clientele, regardless of this forgiveness, does not affect us. And then also the fact that once he starts coming out and showing us some clarification on what he wants to do, Joe Biden, that could mean that the moratorium is coming to an end like it should have been back in May, but now in August, right? So hopefully it does not get extended. And the great part about this, SoFi is already showing their numbers for the revenue and EBITDA in terms of their guidance for this moratorium to extend all the way through 2023. If he actually does give some clarification on this and the moratorium does end in August, that will be a huge jumpstart to our numbers if we actually get back to it early in 2022. Just on a side note, if you are a SoFi customer and actually have a student refi with them, this means that you won't get the forgiveness at all, because in the eyes of the government, that you don't even have any debt because SoFi paid off your debt with them and is now carrying on that debt with as a private lender, and there is no forgiveness for private lenders or anything like this. So it does feel a little bit bad for our current clients, but like I said, the average client wouldn't even have been eligible anyway, so it should not matter. But in other news for SoFi, as you see, the short positions for SoFi, people who are betting against the company, continues to rise and institutional holdings continue to drop. This is because asset management firms and hedge funds continue to sell off the company or bet against the company. But in this most recent quarterly 13F, where we actually get to see which institutions are buying SoFi stock, I get to see a pretty particular trend this quarter, which is pretty interesting. I want to talk to you guys about this. Bank of America has just been seen buying a way bigger position into SoFi. Bank of Montreal did the exact same thing. Goldman Sachs has been seen adding over 6 million new shares. Morgan Stanley, now this one's pretty particularly cool. They recently downgraded SoFi and actually changed their price target from $18 down to $10 while adding 3 million more shares to a total of 7.5 million shares of SoFi. So they're telling people to sell while they buy up the shares. And then Wells Fargo was another big net adder of 1.87 million shares of SoFi. So all the biggest buyers of SoFi right now are all banks, larger banks that are buying up this digital-only bank, while hedge funds and other institutions are selling this company. But the institutions that matter, that understand this business model the most, are buying it. I just thought that was a very interesting thing to understand and see for SoFi. I mean, it's cool to know that people who are actually in the business value this company quite highly and think that we're undervalued, so they're buying more shares, versus people who are maybe into the investment world and are looking at it from a cash value basis or something along these lines that might say that in the short term that they bet against us. And I would too, right? I mean, we are having tough roads ahead. And I mean, well, not tough roads ahead. We've been in the last 6 months, but I think overall what they're seeing is the member growth, the financial services product growth, everything along those lines, as well as their positions in Galileo and Technesis that makes it actually a really good financial institution over the long run. No one understands the value of a bank charter more than a bank, right? And they're betting on us right now, it seems to be. But if you guys could, I just have one request in this video. It's just to hit the like button, okay? Help the algorithm and spread this SoFi brand awareness to, the rest of the investing community here in YouTube, because investors do become customers, and then, more customers equal better investing results. And it's just this big, giant financial loop that is really exciting to me. And all we have to do is hit the free like button. But that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.